What a controversial statement from Verstappen, huh? It seems like the rivalry with Hamilton is still heating up in Formula One. Perhaps that's one of the reasons we love this sport so much, right? But hold on, because the incident between Verstappen and Hamilton is just the tip of the iceberg of what went down this crazy weekend. We're going to dive deep into everything that happened after the race. There's an FIA investigation, Red Bull radio drama, and even an internal feud at McLaren for us to unravel. Speaking of McLaren, what's the deal with let Piastri through Lando? We're going to talk about the audio clips and understand what really happened behind the scenes. Oh, and we can't forget about Lewis Hamilton, who, despite all this chaos, reached the incredible milestone of 200 podiums in F1. This is history in the making, folks. All this and much more in this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, take the chance now. Let's get to it because things are heating up. Alright, let's start by talking about that incident between Verstappen and Hamilton because my friend things got tense. It all began in the final stretch of the race when the two were battling for third position. Verstappen attempted a daring inside overtake in the first corner but ended up airborne after touching the front right wheel of Hamilton's car. What caught everyone's attention was Verstappen's reaction afterward. He didn't hold back and practically blamed Hamilton entirely. According to Verstappen, Lewis kept turning right during braking even with Verstappen already committed to the overtake. But was it really like that? Hamilton, on the other hand, kept his usual calm demeanor. He described the incident as a typical racing incident. He said he saw Verstappen coming from afar and managed to brake much later. In the seven-time champion's view, it was Verstappen who forced the inside pass. So whose side are you on in this story? The truth is that this kind of situation shows how F1 remains unpredictable and exciting. The race was almost over and no one imagined what was yet to come. Speaking of excitement, we can't overlook that. Amid all this chaos, Lewis Hamilton reached a historic milestone, 200 podiums in Formula One. He is the first driver to achieve this incredible number. Just imagine 200 times stepping onto that stage to celebrate. That's a lot of history, but the story of this Hungarian Grand Prix doesn't end there. Things got even more interesting when the FIA decided to step into this whole mess, and guess what? They decided to investigate the incident between Verstappen and Hamilton. Both drivers and team representatives had to explain their version of the events. It was like a courtroom drama. After analyzing all the evidence, including telemetry, onboard footage, and external cameras, the FIA reached a conclusion. And guess what? They decided that no one was at fault. That's right, folks, neither Verstappen nor Hamilton. It was considered a legitimate racing incident. The reasoning? Well, they concluded that neither driver was predominantly to blame for what happened. Now, don't think Verstappen took this well. He kept insisting that Hamilton was changing direction during braking, but apparently the evidence didn't show this clearly enough for the FIA to take any action. The most interesting part is that this FIA decision ended up adding more fuel to the fire of this rivalry. After all, if no one is at fault, everyone thinks they're right, don't they? While Verstappen and Hamilton were busy with this whole drama, there was another story unfolding in the pits. And guess who? McLaren. It seems the Orange team decided there wasn't enough excitement in this GP and went ahead to create their own internal reality show. Imagine the scene. McLaren, which has been surprising everyone in recent races, suddenly finds itself with a real chance of a 1-2 finish, Piastri in front, Norris right behind. It seems like the dream of any team principal, right? Well, not quite. McLaren called Norris into the pits before Piastri, claiming it was to defend against Hamilton. Consequently, in the last laps of the race, Norris was ahead because of this. Things started to get tense when the team asked Norris to let Piastri pass. Sounds simple, right? But Norris wasn't too keen on playing the Good Samaritan. The McLaren radio got heated. Listen to this gem from Norris when the engineer asked him to save his tires and let Piastri pass. Norris responded, "We should have boxed him first then, shouldn't we?" And when the engineer tried to close the subject with a dismissive, "Doesn't matter," Norris dropped the bomb. "It matters to me." You can feel the tension, right? Norris was clearly frustrated. After all, he had been performing excellently and suddenly found himself having to give up his position to the team's rookie. But things got even more interesting when the engineer tried to calm the situation by saying, "He can't catch you. You've made your point, and it really doesn't matter." And Norris, well, he wasn't very convinced. In the end, Norris did let Piastri pass, but it was clear it wasn't easy for him. It's that story, right? Sometimes being a team player hurts the ego. The most interesting part of all this is seeing how McLaren is handling this dynamic between their drivers. They have a super talented veteran and a rookie who's surprising everyone. Balancing this can't be easy. Now let's take a look at what was happening on the other side of the paddock because Red Bull also had its share of tension this weekend. And I'm not just talking about Verstappen's crash, things got ugly on the team radio as well. Imagine this. Verstappen, the driver who has been dominating the season, suddenly finds himself struggling to at least get on the podium. And like any good competitor, he wasn't happy about it at all. The Red Bull radio was on fire. At one point during the race, Verstappen snapped at his engineer, who clearly isn't the type to take crap, and fired back, calling Verstappen's behavior childish. What's interesting is that this heated exchange on the radio shows how much Red Bull was out of their element in this race. The team that has been having an almost perfect season suddenly found themselves having to improvise, and neither Verstappen nor the team seemed prepared for it. Following his strong comments after the race, Verstappen's statements have sparked a debate within the Red Bull team. Some members may feel disheartened by his blunt criticism, while others may appreciate his straightforward approach. It is clear that Verstappen is passionate about achieving success and is not afraid to voice his opinions, even if it means ruffling some feathers within the team. Verstappen's demand for increased alertness and hard work from the team shows his commitment to pushing the boundaries and striving for excellence. While some may interpret his words as harsh, others may see it as a call to action to step up their game and deliver better results in the future. The question of whether Verstappen should apologize for his comments on the radio remains unanswered. His statement about being vocal and unapologetic in a competitive sport like Formula One raises the question of how much freedom should be given to drivers to express themselves and criticize team decisions. As Red Bull navigates this internal tension, it will be interesting to see how they respond and whether they can come together as a united front to bounce back from any setbacks. Ultimately, the success of the team will depend on their ability to work together and overcome challenges, both on and off the track. Coming off the Hungarian Grand Prix, it's clear that McLaren has made some monumental strides in the Constructors' Championship race. If we look back to the beginning of the season, McLaren was really struggling to find their pace and establish themselves as a competitive team. But after their stunning 1-2 finish at the Hungarian GP, it's safe to say that they have totally turned things around. Not only did McLaren secure a well-deserved victory at the Hungarian GP, but they also managed to leapfrog their way up the Constructors' Championship standings. Their performance in Hungary has now put them in a much stronger position in the championship, giving them a real chance to compete with the likes of Mercedes and Red Bull Racing. This sudden rise to glory for McLaren has definitely shaken up the championship race and has added a whole new level of excitement to the season. It will be interesting to see if they can maintain this momentum and continue to challenge for more wins in the races to come. One thing is for sure, McLaren is a team to watch out for in the rest of the season. Even with the controversy surrounding his actions on the track, Lewis Hamilton continued to defy expectations and solidify his legacy in Formula One by achieving his 200th podium finish. This incredible milestone is a testament to his talent and determination, surpassing the dreams of many aspiring drivers in the sport. Hamilton's consistency and skill have cemented his status as one of the greatest drivers of all time, showcasing his ability to perform under pressure and deliver results when it matters most. Despite Mercedes facing tough competition and not always being at the top of the leaderboard, Hamilton's presence at the wheel always poses a threat to his competitors. His strategic maneuvers and fearless driving make him a force to be reckoned with on the track, pushing himself and his team to strive for excellence in every race. With each podium finish, Hamilton continues to add to his impressive resume and solidify his place in the history books of Formula One racing. Despite their dominant position in the championship, Red Bull faced a challenging race that put a dent in their seemingly invincible armor. Max Verstappen, touted as a strong contender for the title, finished in a disappointing 5th place, marking his worst result of the season so far. This unexpected outcome raises questions about the team's performance and whether this setback is just a temporary blip or the beginning of a downward trend. As the season progresses, it will be interesting to see how Red Bull bounces back from this setback and how they adapt to the challenges posed by their rivals. Fans and pundits alike will eagerly await the upcoming races to see if Red Bull can maintain their dominance or if other teams will start to close the gap. Only time will tell if this race was just a minor hiccup or a sign of things to come for the championship leaders. Looking ahead to the upcoming races on the Formula One calendar, there is a buzz of excitement surrounding the next stop at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. This iconic track has a long history of delivering thrilling races with its twists and turns, providing a challenge to drivers and a spectacle for fans. Will the drama continue to unfold at this legendary circuit, or will we see a team rise to the occasion and shake up the standings? I always look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions on the races, so be sure to leave a comment sharing your views. The F1 community is full of passionate fans with unique perspectives, and I enjoy engaging with you all and exchanging ideas about the excitement of the sport. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on all things F1, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you'll ensure that you never miss a moment of the action, and you'll be supporting me in creating more high-quality content for you to enjoy. I can't wait to see you at the next race, where we can continue to experience the thrills and spills of Formula One together. In the meantime, stay tuned to the latest news and updates in the world of motorsport. Sending you a virtual hug and looking forward to catching up with you again soon.